I decided to challenge my faith. Before we get into the details of that, I just want to mention a few things, give you a couple updates because a few things kind of happened. It's not important enough to make an entire video about, but it is important enough to share, and I want to keep everyone updated. So, first thing, just as I was beginning to record this video, the insurance company called me because I reached out to them. I had some questions because, unfortunately, given the news or the potential news that I could be getting in 3 weeks' time, there's a possibility that I'll need to know how my company's life insurance functions to make sure that I know the process to follow so that my wife can get the funds if ever it comes to that. Not that I plan on that happening, not that I hope it happens, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So she was able to answer all my questions and everything, and it seems relatively simple. I can name my wife as beneficiary and have my sister handle stuff because my wife doesn't speak English or French and she's in a different country. I was able to ask questions like, is it an issue if I die in another country? If the death certificate is in Spanish, do I need to get it translated? Information like that. So not exactly, once again, a pleasant conversation to have, but an important one to have. So I'm glad that I finally have that information, and hopefully I'll be able to go visit my sister within the next couple weeks. And then I can have this awesome conversation of like, hey, if I die, would you mind kind of handling this to help my wife because she's not really in a position where she can do it herself? So once again, probably not a fun conversation to have, but one that is important. So that was the first news. Second news is this morning I had my potentially second last immunotherapy treatment. And I say that because if next time I speak to my doctor and we get the results of the scan and it turns out to be the worst case scenario, treatments are going to stop, but the next one's already scheduled for the same day as I have a meeting with the doctor, so I'm assuming they wouldn't cancel it like 2 hours in advance. So yeah, I potentially got my second last immunotherapy ever. And third news is, in case you're wondering why it looks like I'm naked, I was going for a walk in the park because I wanted to mention this in the previous video, I just completely forgot. Right now, for the next 3 weeks, I have a couple different focuses. My main ones are, number one, food. Eat as much as I can. Try not to throw up as much as I can. And go for a walk each and every day because I need to start building muscle mass once again. So yesterday I started that, went for a 5-kilometer walk, going for another 5-kilometer walk today. And since I was here, I'm like, you know what? Why not just record a video in the park? It's a nice change of scenery, and also it's nice. Plus, while I'm here, why not expose my super skinny, super pale body for the entire world to see? And even though it looks like I'm naked, don't worry, I'm actually wearing shorts. I am, however, barefoot. Because, I grew up in the country, I love being barefoot, feeling the grass on my feet. It definitely feels good. So yeah, those were pretty much the updates. We can officially get into the video now. So, as I mentioned before, I've decided to challenge my faith. And before I get into exactly how I'm going to do that, I just want to take a moment to explain exactly what my faith is, what I believe. So, I believe in what I call the universe. And I'm not referring to the physical world in which we live. I'm referring to the universe as in the energy that is in everything, in everyone, that connects us all, that pretty much makes up everything, that intelligence that controls everything. And basically, when I use the term universe, I mean everything. Everything that ever was, that is, and that ever will be, in every shape or form. That's my definition of the universe. And if you're religious or familiar with Christianity or different religions, that may sound very similar to a lot of people's definition of God. And I could very well use the term God instead of universe to describe that. It just doesn't feel right to me because there's so much baggage that comes with the term God and all the religious aspect of everything. So to me, it's just the term the universe is what feels right to use. That's what I've been using for multiple years. And I feel like that's what I'm going to continue using, even though, my understanding and my definition of what the universe is, slowly varies and evolves with time. But given the news that I got recently and, the potential really bad news that I could get in 3 weeks' time, it makes you question things. And I'm like, you know what? Why not use this opportunity, use these 3 weeks to kind of test things, to challenge my faith? So right now, this is what I believe. I believe in the universe. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's use the lottery as a way to test this, because I can't really use my health because it would be very difficult to determine which of the 3 different things that I'm testing is the ones that actually got me the results. It's not like it could be like, hey, universe, heal me by the end of the week. And that way I'll be 100% sure that I'm right, that the universe is what I should believe in. So as a result of that, I'm like, the lottery makes more sense. Plus, given the fact that, the money isn't really for me, given the situation, it's like, it's for my wife, it's for my family, it's for my loved ones. It's so I can, take care of everyone, whether I die or not. At this point, it's really not about me and, being rich and being able to do anything I want. It's really about being able to help the ones I love. So that's why I don't really feel bad using the lottery as a way to test that. So the way I've kind of decided to structure this is week 1, I'm going to test my current beliefs. So I'm going to test the universe. And every morning and every night, I speak to the universe. And I begin by, expressing how grateful I am for everything I have, everything I've ever had, and what I will have in the future, however long that may be. And I ask it, you know what, like, I am going through a lot. I kind of need proof to be sure that I believe in the right thing. So as a proof, allow me to win the lottery. That will confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that me believing in the universe is the right thing. So I'm going to do this for a week. Then once that week is over, the following week, I'm going to do the same, except instead of speaking to the universe, I'm going to try praying to God. I tried once in the past praying, felt very awkward, but my wife is, she's a woman of faith. She believes in God. She believes in Jesus. And, she's been trying to convince me, especially lately, given the news we've had. And, I know she's not trying to convert me, but I also know she would be ecstatic if I decided to suddenly start believing in God. So I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. At this point, I have nothing to lose. I'm open to everything, even though it doesn't feel like the right thing for me. It also doesn't feel right to close that off as an option just because of my past biases and, the way I was raised and society in which I live and everything. So I'm like, all right, second week, let's try praying. And if I win the lottery in the second week, then it means, okay, I guess I was wrong. From now on, I'll believe in God. And then the third week is nothing. Everything is random. God doesn't exist. The universe doesn't exist. Everything is just complete chaos, and there is no rhyme or reason to anything. And if I win the lottery during that week, then it means that everything is random. So that's kind of the way I've chosen to test my faith. I know there's a high possibility that I won't win the lottery, and then I'll just keep believing what I'm currently believing and it won't change anything. But it just felt like a good way to kind of test things out, to try something different. Because when you're in a situation like this, it just reminds you, life is short, you never know what's going to happen. Let's not hold ourselves back. Let's just try different things. Let's try to have fun. Let's open ourselves up to different beliefs and things like that. So I thought it would be an interesting kind of experiment to do and a way to challenge my faith and my beliefs. So yeah, it feels good to record a video outside. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. And oh yeah, other update that I forgot in the beginning. The fact that I'm able to go out and walk means that I actually am doing better. For the last 3 days, today's the 4th day, I'm doing a little worse today, but overall still much better than before. So yeah, I've been doing much better. Breathing is better. Coughing is less intense. In the evening, it still gets worse, and at night, sometimes I wake up and I have to go back to a seated position. So definitely not perfect. Definitely not back to normal, but also definitely better than it has been for the last 3.5 months. So even though it's kind of ironic, the timing of all of this, it's like, I'm starting to feel better. Cool. It feels like things are finally going back to normal, and then boom, bombshell, you get the news of, well, it's the doctor's opinion. I don't necessarily believe it. I choose not to believe it just because that's who I am. But still, getting the bombshell of like, hey, if your cancer has progressed, you'll be dead by Christmas. It's just ironic, the timing of, I'm starting to feel better again. Yay, life is good. It's like, nah, you'll be dead soon. It's like, well, that's ironic. So yeah, that's the other update. So I think I covered pretty much everything. Sorry for the shaky camera. I don't have my gimbal with me. But yeah, it's definitely nice to be out in nature, to enjoy sensation of the grass on my feet. Well, they're not really leaves, they're branches, I guess, cedar branches on my head, just the wind on my skin. It just feels really good to be outside. So it's nice to be able to enjoy life again. Very, very nice. Then it's just a question of, how long do I get to enjoy it? Couple months? Couple years? 50 years? I'm hoping for 50 years. Well, actually more than that, because I plan to live to be 100. But anyway, life is awesome. Let's enjoy it while we can.